Welcome to Linda's TV show. If it is your first time, you like the channel, you like the program, subscribe and put on your notification bell because it's gonna help you to know when I upload a new video. Like you all may know, I present information across the globe, especially Nigeria to be precise, and I want to appreciate my viewers, my subscribers. You guys are so amazing, especially those who always tune in to watch me each time I upload a new video.
Full program today is an honor I've been looking forward to for a very long time. For very many years we've been watching you, and I'm glad to be here today.
Thank you very much. Today we are honored, and we want to start off by giving you a chance for us to know you, because many of my people in Kenya, and as you are aware, Kenya is the chairperson of Africa Peace Security Council. The authorities in this country, Kenya, are watching. They want to know the difficulties that you have. Two, Kenya also has a lot of Nigerian refugees who have come to Kenya to apply for asylum, especially from the southeast of the Biafran area. They are here, and we should not keep quiet and tell lies. There are many here. They want to know in East Africa, in Uganda, in Tanzania, in Zimbabwe. I've found very many of them. Zimbabwe has given them a lot of asylum. We want to know you. Who are you, sir?
I am Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. I represent every aspiration and hope that over 70 million people harbor all over the world. Our job is to restore Biafra in peace and not in pieces by seeking a very simple route via a UN supervised referendum or place beside as the case may be. We are here to restore our land to the way it was before the white man came. What we are doing is nothing against Nigeria per se. What we are trying to say is Nigeria as presently constituted is not working, and we are doing all we can to try to raise the levels of human development, of our understanding, education, health sector, the economy, and all the rest of it. If we continue to remain in Nigeria, not just are we going to suffer, but the whole continent of Africa is going to suffer as a result, as a consequence of the ineptitude, the corruption, the backwardness, the retrogressive mindset of the people who are presently in charge of that very place. Initially, most people tend to see us as not being Pan-African enough. I am a Pan-Africanist. I believe in the unity of the African states. My preference will be for Africa to have one nation, one government, one people, even one language if that is possible. I am a subscriber to the very fine influence of Kiswahili amongst the people of East Africa. And I wouldn't mind if that were to be the lingua franca for sub-Saharan Africa. I don't mind at all. But we must face reality and we must face facts. We as Africans are tribal by nature. We are ethnic by nature. That is why every Christmas, every Easter, every celebration that we have, we go back to where we come from. We go to our villages, we go to our town. That is who we are. And we're not going to deny that. What we are trying to do is to reassert who we are before the white man came and destroyed every vestige of honor and dignity that we once had. And in Biafra, we are going to restore that. And from Biafra, the rest of Black Africa will also be free. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for explaining the position of Pan-Africanism. Because critics talk about, as much as we are Pan-African station, we always talk about Pan-African unity. But I've argued my case before the AU, and they said, you cannot talk of Pan-African unity. One part of Africa is bleeding. How that cannot be? In Nigeria, there's one party bleeding. In Gabon, Cameroon, there's one party bleeding. We can't talk about Pan-African and leave people who are bleeding. I am happy that you have touched the word Pan-Africanism. Many Africans, including your former leaders, have said Nigeria needs rearrangement. I I picked something from you. I want to see this rearrangement. What is this? Babangida. Former President Babangida said Nigeria needs a rearrangement. Yes. Because it can't work anymore. The marriage cannot work. It is true that the marriage cannot work. It is true that the people, the Igbo, are discriminated. When they go to Abuja, they are told go home. Where yet the home is Nigeria. Abuja is Nigeria. I've done investigative work undercover and I've discovered all these things. I'm not being told by you. But I've been with my Nigerian people who have actually ended up being discriminated in their own country. So given this scenario, I want to find out from you, from what perspective do you think Africa should come in, the whole of Africa should come in to bring the plight of the Biafran people, the indigenous people, whom you have been fighting for? How do we come in as Pan-Africans?
How you can come in is by doing what very courageous leaders in Africa did in relation to the case of South Sudan. Because in the case of Nigeria, the center can no longer hold. Everyone knows, the whole world is aware of the fact that we are ideologically, psychologically, culturally, religiously, and socially diverse. There is no meeting point. It's a very good thing that you talked about East Africa, for instance. In East Africa, there is some semblance of cohesion because Kiswahili is the lingua franca. Perhaps somebody from Uganda may understand somebody, or should I say some people from Tanzania. Some Tanzanians may be able to understand somebody, let's say, from Rwanda, because they speak the same language, they have the same understanding. So that is a basis for building something called a national cohesion. In the case of Nigeria, that is conspicuously absent. It doesn't exist. Now, the fact of the matter is this. Africa, the way it is presently set up and constituted, are merely colonial constructs, where you have people coexisting happily together. Perhaps they are very fortunate. In the case of West Africa and Nigeria in particular, I have nothing, and I repeat, nothing in common with your average Fulani person. I have more things in common with even a white British person than I do with a Fulani person. I mean, we have nothing in common. Their value system is markedly different from ours. We cannot see eye to eye. I give a very simple example. The recent case of the banning of the movement of cattle on foot in the southern part of Nigeria, for instance. In the north, that is a normal thing for them to have. But in the south, it is absolutely strange having people walking around your neighborhood with AK-47. At the slightest provocation, they kill people. That type of culture is alien to those of us from the south. And that's what we are trying to say. And it's a very good thing that we are not alone in seeking for a distinct, or should I say, separate identity. Our Oduduwa, our Yoruba brothers are also asking for the same thing, because they too have come to the realization that this Nigeria is unworkable. The Middle Belt is doing the same thing. It is not born out of hatred for anybody. That is the mistake that people keep making all the time. Most analysts and, should I say, news journalists tend to think that somehow we hate Nigeria. Of course, that is not the case. What we deplore, what we detest and cannot live with is the level of hypocrisy, the level of ethnic jingoism going on, being, of course, perpetrated by the Fulani people. And this is what I want all Pan-Africans to be able to see, that Biafra will be there piloting and moving the affairs of the whole of Africa forward. Because we have said it repeatedly, without Biafra standing on its own, the rest of Africa will continue to suffer and to flounder. And for us to be able to get to where we are supposed to be to, there has to be a very comprehensive and holistic rearrangement of the present state of Nigeria. You are well aware. I ask you to go and read at the comments and statements coming from Katrina Lang, the British High Commissioner to Nigeria, for the... every international norm and diplomatic protocol. That's what's happening in Nigeria. Nigeria doesn't exist as a country. It's not a nation. It's not a state. Nigeria is just a merely business enterprise. That everyone with a vested interest in Nigeria, by which I mean most European countries with their companies in the oil and gas sector in Nigeria, all they want to do is to exploit and to take away without adding anything in. Ogoni hasn't been cleaned up. People are dying in River State, right across from Iguacha and then the coastal region. Everywhere you go, there is mayhem and disorder. In Lagos this morning, the same thing. Everywhere you go to, Nigeria is crumbling because there is a palpable agenda of the Fulani Janjaweed Caliphate to take over the lands belonging to indigenous populations. And we have said no to that. We're not going to allow it, and we're not going to have it.
Okay. Thank you very much. You brought me to a very serious question. A question that has been nagging both the locals, Africans on the continent, and the question of external darker forces. You have just mentioned people who are running the show, the oil companies. For example, they are watching. They have never raised anything on BBC, CNN, or international agencies. We don't hear
about them too. Total is an oil company, is a private concern. Of course, it's a huge corporation, we know that. The same goes for Shell, for BP, for Halliburton, for ExxonMobil and all the rest of them. They operate the way they like in Africa because we've allowed them to. I was in Texas a few months ago. Most of these oil companies are there. But the type of environmental degradation and damage that we're witnessing in Biafra land do not obtain in Texas because there they have laws governing their operation, how they exploit, how they, extract and distribute this very vital natural resource. But because Nigeria, I think it's a cliche that Nigeria is corrupt. What people don't understand is the depth of the damaging effect of corruption that you have. And I'll give a very simple example. We cannot expect white people to have regard for us when we do not have regard for ourselves. That can never, ever happen. Do you know that in Nigeria they import fuel? Are you aware that Nigeria imports petrol?
Yes, I've seen the queue. I've seen the queue at the petrol station, yes.
Do you know that Nigeria imports kerosene? Oh. They have 5 viable state-of-the-art refineries. Not one of them is functioning, not one single one. When white people are operating in such an environment, seeing how foolish and how stupid the entire country is in terms of their priorities, how do you then expect them to have respect for you or have regard for you? They can go into our land, they can pollute it. Katrina Lang, the British High Commissioner to Nigeria, can be running the show, or she likes, because there seems to be a recognition that these people do not reason like human beings. That is the fact. That is the fact. Tell me what an ambassador will be doing, crisscrossing the entire nation, telling them how to run their security architecture, telling them who to kill and who to spare. Our lawyer had the mom killed 2 days ago. Barrister Okorafo, the mother was assassinated only 2 days ago. All because he was exposing what the army is doing to innocent people. That tells you all you need to know about Nigeria. Nigeria is an albatross around the neck of Africa. Nigeria is the only country in Africa actually dragging Black Africa backwards because of their ineptitude, because of their criminal mindset, and because of the drive of the Fulani to dip the Quran in the Atlantic Ocean. That is the problem. There is nothing wrong with Islam, don't get me wrong. There are some very wrong interpretations of the religion of Muhammad that the Fulanis are using as the driving factor in their push to take over the land belonging to indigenous people all across Nigeria. They've done the same thing to a relative extent in the Middle Belt. They took a chunk of Yoruba land in Ilorin, where they have an emirate today. The same thing they're trying to do in our land, and we said no to it. And the whole world is there. The US mission is in Nigeria. The UK is in Nigeria. EU is in Nigeria. The UN is in Nigeria. And there is wholesale murder and slaughter of people going on in Biafra as I speak to you right now. This very minute. The same people, they claim they know where Boko Haram is from where they launched the attack. The same country is openly supporting ISIS in West Africa. Go to the newspaper pages yesterday, you will see it there. Nigeria government actually supporting ISIS to take over the terror franchise from Boko Haram. They're not hiding it anymore. There's a terrorist who is there as a minister. Now tell me which country in the world will allow a terror sympathizer to be a minister of state only in Nigeria? How can such a country be allowed to exist? Because of what some corrupt people are gaining in America, because of what some corrupt individuals are gaining from Europe, because of the corrupt tendencies of Catherine Lang, who is the UK High Commissioner to Nigeria. That is what is happening to us. And because we have now risen up to challenge this very orthodoxy of repression and oppression, that is why that woman keeps gallivanting all over the place, deciding who should live and who should be killed. It is not the fault of Total, not the fault of Shell, not the fault of Mobil. We allowed them, we created the environment to allow them to be so corrupt that now they're controlling our lives. And that is what Biafra will be done. And I did not say that Biafra will stop the business of Total. I never said I will not do business with Shell. No, not at all. But it has to be business between two human beings, not a set of human beings and one set of animals. Thank you
very much for that question. Let me come back to the question of referendum. You parted ways, and most of us have parted ways with Buhari about the referendum. The people of Biafra have said, and the entire Nigeria, not only Biafra, most people that I meet or whom I've met, including Obasanjo, several times I've confronted Obasanjo. By the way, me and Obasanjo, we can't sit on the table for 2 minutes without exchanging tables because I can't manage. I have asked, and Obasanjo asked, why don't you give a referendum? The marriage is broken. The marriage is gone. The marriage is not worth it. Do you think the referendum issue now can help to stabilize Nigeria? And if so, when and how can African Union, the Commonwealth, the European Union, and the UN can help to make sure that this referendum is put in place?
The only way to go is a referendum, because I am a Democrat at heart. I believe that the democratic will of the people must be expressed at all times, and that is the basic governing principle of any viable society. I am an advocate of referendum, and the sooner they conduct it, the better. It's been muted in the past through their so-called rejigging of their constitution, through their so-called sovereign national conference, which has been coming on and off from time to time. Any new arrangement that seeks to keep Nigeria together as one must be subject to the will of the people. So either way, a referendum is going to come anyway. It may be delayed, but it is ultimately going to come. Now, one thing you must understand is this. There are very corrupt countries around the world. Maybe on the surface of it, they're not corrupt. But they have very corrupt operators that will prefer Nigeria to remain in the very hopeless state that it is in at the moment. Nigeria is in a very hopeless state. A lot of people are making money by virtue of the corrupt nature of Nigeria. Do you know that Shell BP can sell 1 million barrels of crude oil in a day and only report that they only sold 100? Do you know there is no meter? Where the crude oil is being loaded onto the tankers at the terminal in Biafra land where I come from, there is no meter. You can take as much as you like and declare whatever you like. These interests want to keep Nigeria one. Every ambassador to Nigeria gets a welcome handshake of $1 million. Once you're posted to Nigeria from a well-to-do country, so to speak, the ambassador is bribed immediately there and then. That is how you start your work. You will not believe what I'm about to tell you. Do you know that the U.S. ambassador to Nigeria organized, or should I say convinced the Biden administration to allow the U.S. military to come for an exercise in the Gulf of Guinea in order to checkmate Biafra and Ambazonia, freedom fighters? The same people did not go to the north, where they have Boko Haram, where they have ISIS, where they have Ansaru, where they have Fulani headsmen terrorists. People tormenting, killing, raping, kidnapping, and pillaging on a blessed, every blessed day they do this. Do you know that it is not the recommendation of the U.S. ambassador to Nigeria that U.S. must commit their troops to the north? But they are in the Gulf of Guinea, exercising, saying that we're there to fight crime both on land and on sea. But there is no crime going on. The places where the crimes are going on are all in the Sharia north. And I want to bring you back to this idea of referendum once again.
Thank you for always watching Linda's TV show. I will see you again in my next video. Remain blessed. I appreciate each and every one of you, and keep on watching Linda's TV show. If you have not yet subscribed, please, I beg you to do that so that you'll be getting more updates from me. Bye bye.